it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Oliver Anthony. It's my understanding the dude has now turned down $8 million from the musical industry, various offers since that song blew up. Well, why'd that song blow up anyway? I don't get it. Joining me now, the queen, I should say, diversity hire at Babylon Bee, which just murders me. She also wrote the book Elephants Are Not Birds, Ashley St. Clair. Ashley, why is this song so popular? I mean, my goodness, I even downloaded it. What's wrong with me?
I think this song is popular because it speaks to the average everyday American and the struggle we're all feeling. It's getting increasingly hard to just exist, to live in America. We see this especially with Gen Z, and they have this apathy, people want to say, but much of Gen Z even recognizes this pain and that they're going to own nothing and be happy, eat the bugs. So I think he really was able to speak to a population here that really isn't spoken to. It's usually forgotten, the everyday American person.
Ashley, there's something that's intergenerational, actually, because we're obviously very different generations, as people can see from the gray in my beard. But my generation is sad, too. Your generation is sad. Men are sad. Women are sad. Hopeless, listless. I see it all the time, and it saddens me. That's what bums me out. I can't necessarily quantify all of it, but you try.
I think it's because we have a system that's inherently against the people. Again, it's harder and harder to live. We saw this during COVID, right? We weren't allowed to make a living or operate our businesses. Meanwhile, Jeff Bezos and Amazon saw record profits. Most people my age know that they're never going to own a home. Even a car is becoming increasingly unaffordable. Rent is astronomical. I think that's why so many people are sad, because they're working for absolutely nothing. There's no purpose left. And when you don't have that purpose, you have a very sad and broken population that will do anything, including take handouts from the government, including offer up more of their freedoms in exchange for security. So I think that's where a lot of this is coming from.
Ashley, how do we fix it?
I think there needs to be more Oliver Anthonys, right? I think people need to start speaking from the heart, especially people who are artists. You saw recently Rainn Wilson was speaking out against Oliver Anthony and that he should have written the song a different way. Instead, he should have spoken up against, the CEOs who are making so much money. But really, these people aren't artists. People like Rainn Wilson, they're not artists anymore, even though they pretend to be. Real art is what Oliver Anthony did. We speak from the heart. And so often we want to put on a facade, and it's the Instagram world where everything's happy. And most people are not happy. And I think people really should discuss reality more. I think we need to come back down to earth in order to figure out where we're all at, how we can get out of this. People need to start speaking up.
Speaking of people speaking up, Larry Elder went on that show, The Breakfast Club, huge morning radio show around here, well, nationwide, and here's how that went.
I'm acutely aware, Charlamagne, that I'm a black person, just as you are a black person. And when Joe Biden insulted you by saying, you ain't really black, we don't know whether or not you want to vote for me or vote for Donald Trump, it seems to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part. How dare this guy come in here and insult you, a black man, and tell you you got to think a certain kind of way? I'm amazed that you weren't mad about that.
How should I have replied to him, you think?
What I just now said, how dare you insult me and tell me I think as a human being, let alone as a black person? I don't tell you how to think, Joe Biden. How dare you come in here and tell me how I should think? I'm going to vote for Donald Trump if I want to vote for Donald Trump. And if I want to vote for Donald Trump, it does not make me not black. 20% of black people, black men, as I said, voted for Donald Trump in 2020. Are they not black now? So only 80% of black men walking around are really black, 20% are not because they voted for Donald Trump? How insulting is that? How condescending is that?
I mean, you're probably right, but I didn't take it in that way.
Well, I did. This guy has made all sorts of insulting things to black people, and his policies right now are hurting black people. Inflation hurts the people at the bottom more than anything else. Letting a bunch of illegal aliens into the border are hurting black people more than anybody else, as I said earlier. He's opposed to school choice when he has his own kids in private school, and we lost a year, almost 2 years of in-school education in California because of COVID that he supported. I mean, this guy has done monstrous things to black people, and then for him to come in here and tell you how you ought to think as a black person, it blew my mind.
Ashley, I see people posting this clip everywhere, and you'll see several things like it out there. But people aren't necessarily changing their voting habits. Everything Larry Elder just said right there was right, but they don't change how they vote. People don't change how they vote. Single women are more miserable now than they've ever been. They still run out and vote Democrat every single time before they go dye their hair pink. People don't seem to take accountability for how they vote.
No, they don't. And you're seeing this happen, especially in Hawaii. This is the result of, in Maui, this is the result of Democrat policies. In Maui, you had the overlord of the water who was spewing all of his woke garbage about how water should be revered. And he, as many of us know now, he stopped water from being released for hours as this city was burning alive, as the island was burning. I mean, we have thousands of missing people right now. 1 in 4 school children will not be there. And this is the result of Democrat policies. A lot of this could have been avoided had people voted differently. But I just think it's become so polarized, and the left is very smart in this regard, how they said, if you vote right, if you vote red, you're a literal Nazi. This is the rhetoric they used, and it was very, very persuasive. It's worked, and it's still working, this racist boogeyman narrative.
Well, Ashley, thank you. Come back soon. I have great news. If you enjoyed that, I have a YouTube channel you can subscribe to. Whatever I do, it'll be right there on YouTube, so go subscribe today.